Financial Survival Network, helping you survive and thrive in the new economy. Go to CarrieLutz.com and sign up for 30 free micro trainings on financial survival.
$14.90 WGCH. This is Carrie Lutz. You're listening to the Financial Survival Network. If you're wondering the significance of yesterday's events in the gold and silver markets, my next guest, Duane, has got the answers. Chris, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's every time we get together, we're like, oh, it's been a while, and then we have to do this more often, and time flies by, and we're in the exact same thing. So
yeah, and we actually have a fan base out there, people who are, for some reason, interested in what we have to say, and when we don't get together, I get emails like, what's with you guys? Can't you get your act together? It's only one time a week for half hour. What gives? But in any event, we both have lives. We're both busy doing what we're doing. We get as much done as we can and put in as much energy as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I give you a ton of credit. I mean, you've been posting onto the Don't Tread on Me site, and it's like every day you got one or two interviews up there. I don't know any other guy out there who's putting that much effort into doing it. I mean, I think you're even out posting Eric King.
That's not too hard, really. He does a couple posts a day, and what he does, I don't really want to do, but we just made it to kitco.com today.
Yeah, the front page. Congratulations. I just saw that.
Yeah, we're an official contributor now, so expect to see a lot more, and hopefully that'll build audience and get the message out.
That's right.
The markets yesterday seemed to be a sudden change or shift in momentum, a wake-up call. Like, what happened?
Oh, Bernanke came out and said that they're going to QE forever. And, for the people who have been listening and educating themselves about what is really afoot here, it is impossible to trade the daily, tickers without eventually getting, your head handed to you, like some of the paper traders like to say. Everything that I've always been educating people is about buying the physical silver. When you own the physical silver, you see the sense of permanence, you see the value, you see, the history, you see so much more than just some, flashing dollar sign on what its current value is. The paper markets are, manipulated like nothing else on earth. And there is a mathematical end to it. So yesterday's move, went up, $1.30, big deal, It's the final value, and I think when people do buy it is, we're not going to sell it for, $1.30 more, $20 more, $100 more, $50, $500 more. So long as the dollar is in existence, it's mathematically going to end. And the day that silver goes to 100 to 1,000, is the day that it'll probably go to 10,000 the next week. So people should not be buying silver on these momentums. They should not be, cheering because it went up $1.30 today. Yeah, it feels a little good, but if you truly understand and have come to acceptance in investing in silver, you're buying because it is outside of the paper paradigm that's doomed. You're buying because it does have permanent value. You're buying because there has been no real price discovery on it since 1873, and that there's actually less physical silver than there is gold. And you buy because of that, and you buy as much as you can. I've sold my house to buy more silver. I sold my business to buy more silver. I sold my car to go buy more silver. I've sold kids' clothes. I sold a DVD player that I had in the basement for essentially an ounce of silver. I'm doing everything that I can. And last week I announced that for the first time ever since I've been awakened in 2005, I own no gold. I traded my last bit of gold at 57 to 1 for silver. And, it feels good. I'm 100% physically involved in silver. Silver goes up 5% a day. My wealth goes up 5% a day. It goes down 5%. My wealth goes down, or paper wise. But when I go down and, actually hold a coin in my hand, it looks the same to me, regardless if it's priced, $50, $30, or $400. It's still, a lot of, human effort and ingenuity that went into finding, refining, and producing this 1 little ounce of silver.
Yeah, your house is looking pretty empty. You've been selling the furniture while your wife isn't looking and buying silver with it, huh?
Actually, kind of a weird play. I'm not doing this purposely. We bought a new sofa set and a new bedroom set recently, and I bought them with 4 years no interest. So I have like little teeny payments on these new things, and I sold my the bed and old sofas for cash. So I'm playing some sort of arbitrage with furniture to go buy silver.
Home furnishings arbitraging, huh? A new one. Hey, we could write an article on that. How to leverage your dining room set and your living room set, right? You just need good
and
credit.
My refrigerator too. That's right. I also got a refrigerator.
Well, I think I mentioned to you that like 3-4 years ago, I took like a cash advance. It was a test because I had the money. It was a big cash advance when they were still giving out large credit cards, and I took it and I just bought gold with it, and it was 9 months interest free. And I said, "Gee, this is cool." So I take it. I buy gold with it, and I'm just paying it down a certain amount a month. And
while the value of it has been rising ever since then.
Exactly. I bought it sub $900 an ounce, and now it's $1,721, give or take. So I'm up about $800 something an ounce, and I probably paid off half of what I owe on it, and it's extremely low interest rate anyway. So, I just created that wealth literally almost out of nothing.
Yeah, and it's, that's something not for everybody.
I don't recommend it for the people of the
especially
weak of
because
heart.
I think the time that people feel most risky is when the market's moving the fastest. Really, I've talked to a lot of people over the past 6 months who, have felt bad that they bought, for silver and, that they bought when, it was going down, and it hasn't been easy. I mean, I sat through this in 2008 and I watched, 60% of my wealth disappear in that time period, and it stinks. Because you look at it and you're like, wow, it should be, 500 or 5,000, not, 8. And, but when you educate yourself about the markets and understand how much, all the factors that are at work here, you do the right thing and you keep buying when things are down. And
buy on dips. Absolutely buy on dips.
I mean, the line that I've been using for the last 4 weeks since I've been, 5 weeks, is that I'm more bullish on silver today than I was at any other period since 2005. Even when I sold my house and bought silver back in 2005, I was nervous buying silver at $7.25. I would watch, 20-cent moves on silver and be like, oh my God, I don't know if I should buy or wait or stuff like that. And I tell people today, buying silver at $33, $40 or $50 is going to look just as ridiculous as $7 in 2005. When it's, triple digits or quadruple digits or not even, dollar valued at all.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you, I started, I bought my first gold in 99, but I started buying in earnest in November of 2008. And I've never worried about it. I've never had a second thought about it. Yeah, I've played with the mining stocks too. I've made some money. I'm well up on that. But in terms of the physical, I never thought twice about it, never thought about selling it, and I never worried that I had made a mistake. I've never been as sure of anything in my life as this. Now, can something happen? Yeah. Are there situations where gold and silver might not, I don't want to say aren't going to appreciate or keep their value and store wealth, but that there might be a situation where something becomes more valuable. Put it that way, sure. But in terms of playing the odds and protecting your wealth and going with history, there's nothing else that anybody else can do that is going to protect them and give them an opportunity to build wealth as precious metals, especially silver. If you looked at my last Triple Lutz report, by the way, I've been calling for this breakout for 2 weeks now, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But if you look at my last Triple Lutz report, I even say that silver is going to way outperform gold here. Gold will still have real rates of return, no question about it. It had a real rate of return last year, believe it or not. 365 days ago to now, gold is up $388 an ounce, or close to 30%. But the real move is going to be in the silver. We've taken the volatility hit. The next move is just going to be stupefying. No one will believe it. They're going to be on CNBC saying, "Can you believe silver? What's going on? It's a bubble," right? And the reason why I knew this breakout was coming, and I've been telling everyone, I don't usually go on record with predictions because I'm lousy at it. And it's too easy to be wrong. You know, you could be right at the wrong time. You could either guess the direction of something, or you could guess the timing. You don't want to do both at the same time. But the reason I knew was I work out at the gym 3 days a week, and I watch CNBC, and it's the only time I do it. And a couple months ago, when gold was going crazy, the gold price would be popping up on the screen, you know, every 10 seconds, you know, and I'd be going, yeah. Now, you know, they have the little ticker, and if it's up once in between every commercial
segment,
yeah, it's a lot. So I knew that they had forgotten about it. And that's when gold and silver make their moves. When the media and when the financial elite that runs the media basically says, forget about it. It's yesterday's news. Because every dog has its day. And usually it's the dog that the financial elite have locked in the closet. And that's why I knew it was going to be a breakout. I see it new highs for both of them in the not too distant future.
Well, December 14th, I spent 2.5 hours remotivating, you know, all my subscribers to the Silver Shield report. I did the big silver picture, and I basically predicted, you know, that this was going to turn around very soon. And then, you know, 2 weeks later, we had that double bottom. At that point, I sold whatever I could, and definitely sold the gold and, you know, all the stuff that I've had in my basement and stuff. And I have worked towards, you know, being physically invested in silver, and it's a good time to be buying back in now. One prediction that I started off my entire Silver Shield career with was January 1st of 2011, last year. I said that at some point you will not be able to buy physical silver with dollars, and I said that's going to happen. This is back when, you know, silver was about the same price it is today. That as soon as it gets over that $50 margin, this next time, I don't think you're going to be able to buy physical silver with dollars, because I think at that point we're already so tight with the physical inventory. There's going to be a mental shift, and I was talking with David Morgan today, and I told him, I said, you know, all it's going to take is 1 ounce of silver not to be delivered, and the whole world changes. Because the mentality shift from everybody who's involved in the silver market will be changed forever. As soon as they realize that this isn't as accessible, that it isn't available, that it isn't you know, easy to get, you know, that's going to change the perception of everybody involved. It's going to change the perception of those who own the physical, that they're not going to be selling because now, you know, something's afoot, and they're going to wait to see what's happening. So the physical market's going to seize up. The miners are going to, you know, realize that they have something very precious as companies and investors start scrambling to buy metal from them, and you're going to have that panic buying situation. And at that point, you know, I used the lottery ticket analogy. You know, you bought a lottery ticket when you bought an ounce of silver. And, you know, you did it because you didn't want to own the dollars originally. And now that this lottery ticket is now worth, you know, multiples of what you bought it for, you're never going to sell it back for that same dollar that you didn't want when times are good, or when it did have purchasing power, or when it wasn't obvious that, you know, that the dollar was going to collapse. So when I see moves like yesterday with Bernanke saying that they're going to QE forever until 2014, if you study this market, you know he has no choice. It's inflate or die. And that we're going to have whiffs of deflation because they want to maintain their control over the market. But any hiccup along the road will be met with massive amount of money that's being printed. And the more money eventually that comes into the market leads to less people wanting to invest in that market. Like, who's going to buy a bond now? Mm-hmm. And so if there's trillions of dollars that needs to be rolled over this year in sovereign debt, and there isn't enough cash in the world for this. So who's going to buy it? It's, Ben Bernanke. It's Mario Draghi. It's going to be all these central bankers in the world. And, that money is going to be chasing after paper assets. Well, people who are selling these paper assets, they're going to put their money somewhere else, and they can't put it in stocks because they all suffer from the same or stocks, bonds, cash. They all suffer from the same problem, that they're all denominated in dollar and that they're paper asset with massive counterparty risk. So at some point, people are just going to panic buy into silver and gold, most likely gold first. And then because silver is so cheap, people are going to try to do that. But you're going to see price moves in silver of $5, $10, $25 a day. And at some point, you're just not going to be able to buy it.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable. I think it's happening because if you look at the reports from the U.S. Mint, they are selling, they're up to like 4 million silver eagles for January.
Yeah, 40 million.
Yeah, just for the month.
40 million last year.
Yeah, 40 million last year.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to use domestic supplies of silver, which is 35 million, 5 million ounce deficit.
Yep.
And,
and that's just for this coin program.
Yeah.
So think about that, Gary. All the silver that's mined in the United States is going to one coin, and they can't keep up demand. And if you look at the curve, that silver coin market was pegged at anywhere between 4 and 8 million coins a year or ounces a year. And then 2007 just started taking off like this escalating rocket. And the video I just put up. I did
tell
this.
us about that video.
Yeah. Okay. So the silver bullet and the silver shield really made a big impact on a lot of people. In fact, I think that's how I met you and David Morgan and all these other people. It's been read on the sites over 400,000 times. I know of 7 different translations. And that is, it's a huge market. David Morgan, personally called me after reading it saying, wow, what a great article. Jason Hommel said it was, that was the best article written on silver in a decade. And it really came out of the genesis of me saying, hey, if everybody knew about silver as much as I know about silver, this game would be over, without even a question. And that, it would do that. So I set about creating a piece that would basically give you every single reason in the world why you should be buying physical silver. And some people can buy it for financial reasons, political reasons, economic, all sorts of reasons. But that article, went off and became viral. It really went all over the world.
I know.
And so it had a great shelf life and reached a lot of people. So I said to myself, well, now that we're essentially, when I started last month when I started putting all the transcripts and everything together, I said, you know what, if this article, and it's a 10,000 word article, it's not like, these little teeny things. I said, if I can put this article to a video, I'm sure I can reach millions. If you get 400,000 people reading an article like that, a big long piece, the break it up into videos and then put it on YouTube, it'll be much better. So that's what I started doing 4 days ago. I started creating all these videos, and the first video has already got 10,000 hits within 4 days. And my expectation is by the time I'm done with these video series, it's going to become the premier video series on why you should be buying physical silver. Unfortunately, I think by the time it actually gets as popular, people aren't going to be able to buy it anymore. Certainly not in the quantities that they can buy it right now with it being so cheap.
Well, it seems to me there's a golden and a silver opportunity right now that probably is not going to be repeated again. I mean, I've said it before, but before I didn't really I felt the volatility was such that you could see some major pullbacks. It looks to me like at this point, we're going to hit a new high in both of them. It's going to pull back. There'll be a pullback because there always is. And then it's going to just keep repeating itself, and it's going to go ever higher. That's the way I see it. Anyways, Chris, we've got don't-tread-on.me, link in the resource tab on CraigsList.com. All of my work just about gets posted on your site, which we're very grateful for. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to tell anybody?
No, just the greatest truth never told is the greatesttruthnevertold.com is the site that we're posting all these videos. You can go to YouTube and just do Truth Never Told. There's probably about 55 videos up there that I've been doing over like crazy. I mean, it takes a day and a half to do a 5-minute video.
They're really hard.
It's a lot of work. Like, this 20-minute interview takes 20 minutes and you can pretty much slap it up there and you're done. But with the video, it's, you got to write out everything that you're going to say, record everything you're going to say, edit everything you're going to say, throw on, videos and all that other stuff, and finding the right image to go with that right thing is very difficult. So, but they're turning out really well. And I think we're reaching a younger, different, audience than what we normally get on the blog, which is the reason why I'm doing it. I'm trying to reach out to other people who are not in the choir, and give them the ability of, learning this stuff. So.
Yeah, that's a really important thing that you're doing. And yeah, I don't know that people really appreciate the amount of work that goes into a video production, but it's 100-fold as opposed to an audio production where you kind of just listen to it. Something got messed up, you snip it out and you clean it up, put a couple things on it, and boom, it's off to the races. So
that's right.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Kerry.
We'll try to get to you next week. If we don't flame us, please. It's not that we're not thinking of you. We want to get together, but we're really busy. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Take care, Kerry.
Take care. Bye.